It's Saturday, the 22nd of August. I've come up the allotment. It's in the evening, about 4:30. Left the sort of day. We had a nice time in the garden today where it was warmer. So I thought I'd come up now. A few jobs to do today. So first job is to check how many crazy amount of courgettes there is. And there's about 7 or 8 to harvest. So I'm going to pick those before I do anything else. Everything could do with a bit of a water. It has rained a lot, but it does still need a little bit of a water in places. So I'm going to go through and do that. Just have a look around, see how everything's doing. And then the big job for today is I've got some more decking wood. So my neighbour was chucking out the decking, putting a new decking in. So I ran out and asked if I could have some of their wood. So I've got quite a few bits of decking planks and the sort of rails that I've used for corner posts. So at home I've cut them all to length, drilled holes in the ends where they need to go so it's easier to screw. These are all the end bits, so I've got enough for 4 beds, so there's 8 end bits there, and I've already screwed on the corner posts to those, so they're ready to go. I can just screw these on. Got my box of screws on the kitchen there and my screwdriver, so hopefully that won't take too long, and they're going to go over the other side of the allotment. So I've got these 2 beds and they're going to fill in this gap up here. There might be space for a little bit more, another bed up the top there. I'll see how much room we've got when that's done. Allotment wise, rest of the veg wise, courgettes are still going insane. Amazing plants, they're still going, becoming ever more inventive of what to do with courgettes. There's some amazing courgette cake I made yesterday, which I really enjoyed. Here we've got the rainbow chard. Looks like it's doing quite well. It just needs a good water, so I'm going to give that a water. This bed's still got potatoes in it, but we've still got at least 2, 3, 4 days of potatoes at home out of this other bed, so I don't need to harvest them yet. The corn is getting ever taller and doing really well. Some of it might be ready, I'm not sure. I'll have a little look maybe, see how it's doing. And the squash that's running through it is getting massive. I didn't realise they'd get quite this big. They're gigantic. The beans I planted 2 weeks ago, a week ago. They're doing really well, growing a little bit, slowly going up the poles. So I'm happy with them. They all look nice and healthy. And then the last bed in here has got all these squash in, which is just taking over this whole area, going right out over there, all out the back here. But we've got some really nice squash on them. So here's the 2 I showed you before. They've grown a lot more, so that's sort of how big that one is against my hand. There's a couple there. I mean, I'm sure there's loads in there somewhere, but I haven't been able to sort of get to them. There were some baby ones just here. I did notice over here some nice ones. There's a couple more good ones there. I'm sure there's probably more in here, but I don't want to sort of disturb it too much. I don't want to sort of bury about in it too much to look. But I'm sure there probably are some more in there somewhere. I can see some little tiny baby ones growing here. Yeah, so I'm really pleased with those. I've never grown squash before, so that was a little bit of an experiment, and I think that is going to do well. Hopefully they grow in time, sort of should be ready in sort of September, October time. So that'll be really nice. Good harvest when there's sort of less about. We'll have the chard, hopefully, the sweet corn. See how long the courgettes keep going. We've got our potatoes still in here that I replanted. No sort of sign of those coming up yet, but we shall see. It's early days for those. So, first job, I'm going to harvest that courgette. That's the main purpose for coming up today. And then I'm going to make the beds up, and I'll put them in place here, just on top of the plastic, and see how they fit. And I'm going to bring down the compost and soil improver. I'll bring that down another day and start filling them up. I'm going to get some more compost from B&Q to help fill those up a bit as well. Yeah, and then we can start getting some more veg in. Got some Brussels, broccoli, cauliflower, and more chard at home, a lot more chard seeds. So we shall get them in as soon as we can. Hopefully they'll do well over the winter, or over the sort of autumn. Yeah, looking forward to that. Here's our courgette haul. I miscounted. There's 4 quite large ones. It must be good at least 8 or 10 inches. And then 4 smaller ones. I'll pick these because if I leave these a couple of days or 3 days or so, they'll be massive like these. And they're a bit tastier like this as well, less watery. So yeah, that'll fill up the fridge again. I know there's another 2 at home that are probably about this size. On the plants I've got in pots at home, so we are definitely not lacking in courgette in our house again. I think there's still 2 or 3 in the fridge as well. So yeah, that's lots more courgettes to eat. Next job on the list then is to put these beds together. So I'm going to make them up here. So we've got we left a bit of grass at the front. This is actually our allotment, sort of starts just about there and goes back. But we left space here for the mud kitchen and to play on and sit on and have picnics and stuff like that. So there's a little bit of space and it's grassed over nicely. So I'm going to make them up here and then I can lift them over there where it's a bit more difficult to manoeuvre on the plastic and all that other bits and pieces that are holding the plastic down. Yeah, so I'm going to make them up and I'll show you when they're made up. So I've got the first one made up and in place. As you can see, unfortunately I broke one of the upper bits. It just had a really weak point there as soon as I touched it, but I have got loads more of those at home that I managed to get, so I can replace that quite easily with a few screws, so I'll do that another day. But yeah, it's a little bit shorter. You can see that it's shorter. These are 120 centimeters long, whereas these other beds are 160. Unfortunately that's the size that they'd pretty much cut them to, so I had to make them a bit shorter, but it was free. Everything was free, all the decking wood and the sort of banister bits. The banister bits, it's a bit of an experiment. It's for putting netting round, sort of pinning netting round it, stop the sort of animals get into stuff. If it doesn't work, I can always just saw them off. Anyway, the bottom bits will be good. The other thing I might do, so I might put them in place just on top of the plastic for now, just to see how they fit. I'm tempted to go to B&Q and get some decking paint and just paint all of it before I fill it with soil, just to try and give it a bit longer lifespan. Obviously it's all second hand, it's been on someone's decking for probably at least 10-15 years, so bits of it were rotten that I've cut off. All the bits I've used are really good, are pretty solid, but it'd be nice to give it a bit of a longer life before I have to do it again. It didn't cost me anything particularly other than some screws, but obviously it's quite a lot of work. It'd be nice if it lasted quite a while. So yep, so I've got 3 more to make. I'm going to go and do those now and I'll show you when them 3 are up. I've got all 4 beds made up now. Really happy with how they've gone together. I've put them pretty much where they're going to go. So as I said, they're a little bit shorter than the other ones, so they don't go quite as far. It's left me with a gap here between the water butt and the end of these beds. And I think I might build a sort of one long one that goes acrossways in this space. I want to leave a bit of space either side of it, and obviously at the footpath at the others in the middle. So I might make one that's sort of 50-60 centimeters wide and goes right across if I can get the wood. Yeah, and that'll just finish off this side really nicely. Really pleased with getting these in so we can make it sort of, you know, much more productive and get loads more veg in. The other banister bits have all held up really well. They're quite strong. It's just that one I need to replace over there, so that's not a problem. It's just a few 4 screws to undo and put that in, so that's all good. I'm going to, I might paint them, I think I will, so I'll do that with them in here. It doesn't matter if I stop painting around on the grass and whatever. I'll do that. I've got some of that soil improver, so I'll fill that, put that in, buy some compost and put that in, get them filled up, and we can start planting them up. And I'm also going to put some more compost in the potato beds up the top there, get those filled up, and probably that one that's still got potatoes in, so I can put chard in there. Yeah, so that's my jobs for today. I'm just going to water, just make sure everything's nice and watered, and then home for tea. So that's all the work for tonight done. I've watered, harvested, made up all our new beds. I've tidied up a little bit, moved some of the bricks around and things, just to get this space looking ready to use. Looking much bigger now. It's got all those beds over there as well. Made it much bigger allotment, which is great. Just got to think about that sort of last bed we might be able to make up there. See if I can source some wood for that. Not sure. We'll see if anybody else we know is putting up decking soon. Have a look. I've been looking on Freegal and Freecycle and things like that. Yeah, so hope you enjoyed a look around the allotment and see how it's progressing. Really pleased with how it's come on. Still lots and lots to harvest this year, and lots growing still. So I'm really looking forward to getting some of these sweet corn and beans and potatoes, and I'm sure more courgettes, and trying this chard for the first time. I've got loads of this at home still. Some of them have, sort of where it's been too hot, haven't done too well, although they might come back. But I can replant some more. The ones at home are actually bigger than these, but some of them are doing well. This one's doing well. And I'm going to plant more in this potato bed once I've pulled those up. So hopefully we'll have lots of chard to try. Yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you liked that, and I'll see you soon.